The next girl they sleep with, they know how to choke properly, they know how to slap, they know how to pleasure her. And also I give them such a safe environment. Like, I mean, if you had an 18-year-old son, would you send him to me on his 18th birthday?
No.
So okay, so your son will probably lose his virginity after going to a club. He's probably been drinking, the girl might have done drugs. They then go back to some hotel or parents' house.
I don't think
whatever.
I'm raising him that way.
Okay, yeah. But regardless.
What about if he falls in love and loses his virginity to someone he loves?
And what if the world becomes a really happy place? You're talking, it's unrealistic. When people lose their virginity, it's probably after a night out.
So it's more realistic I send my son to you.
Yeah.
Who slept with 1,000.
Are you saying, Rob, that your children are going to do what you want? Is
on
your
18th, on his 18th
because
birthday,
they're independent people, Rob.
They are.
No, they can make their own decisions, Rob. Don't come out with that crap.
But
well, I think my kids are. You don't have kids, and I think my kids are older than your kids. So de facto, I think I've got a bit more experience in being a dad. Because everyone talks about how it is until their kids actually do disobey them, which they do.
No, they won't.
Right, Rob, on your son's 18th birthday, I'll be stood on the driveway with a balloon and a happy birthday card. I'll take his virginity, but I'll take him to a safe, controlled environment. I'm not going to cry and rape the next day. I'm STD tested. I can educate him on a body. So the next girl he sleeps with, because if that's the girl he falls in love with, she's going to want a good shag. She's going to want to be pleasured. She's want to walk away from it going, that was good. Yeah, I want to see him again. I want to stay loyal to him because he was amazing in the bedroom.
Rob, you should do it.
Do you really believe this?
Rob, do it.
Okay, would you send your son to Bonnie, age 18, birthday?
I don't need to, but you need to.
I don't need to.
Yes, you do.
Are you judging me, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm just saying that like...
Andrew, I do father and son as well.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, thanks. But,
brother and brother?
No,
bit of double penetration?
No way.
Well, you need to find out if I'm trans. I think you and your brother, double penetration, then you'll know the truth.
Okay, first things first. You're not trans, and I knew you weren't trans. 100%.
Is that because you've had multiple wanks?
No, it's just 100% you're.
Or is
you're
that
because
trans. You left this at my last event? Oh, you don't want to touch it? I thought you might be thirsty. You want to rinse it for cum?
Bonnie. Bonnie. I knew you weren't trans. However,
yeah,
I would argue that a lot of the men who you are gay.
No, it can be intimidating though for guys.
No, it's not about intimidation. They are gay.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are, because
their dick is entering a pussy.
There's too much male DNA all around that scenario. The reason I find female promiscuity, by and large, for my personal sexual appetite, quite disgusting, is because I don't like the thought of other men anywhere near what I'm gonna fuck. I'm so not gay that I don't like that there have been men there.
Except if you're on a boat with 25 of them.
Well, if that's whoreland. When you're if you're in whoreland, it's whoreland.
So that's the fork box, not the spoon box.
I guess you could argue that, yes. My point is, if I was going to take a woman seriously, the idea of another man being near her, I find repulsive. And I find it repulsive because the idea of the man repulses me by and large.
Yeah.
Any man who's happy to have sex with that many other men, when there's that much other male DNA in the room, I would argue has a streak of homosexuality to some degree. I would argue that those men are gay. Now, you're not trans, but I don't think a straight man wants to see that's had 10 dicks in it, or 20 dicks in it, or 50 dicks in it.
What about 1,057?
Well, I don't know. Maybe these men are just bi, or I don't know. Maybe they're desperate. You can argue lots of things.
See, I don't agree, but I do get where you're coming from. Like some of these guys, especially 6 hours in, they come to me. The floor's like an ice rink. There's that much cum on there. My face, I'm barely recognizable. Like my hair is slicked back. My eyes are full of cum. Like my whole body is so slippery from cum. And yet they still come, they kiss me, they touch me. And I think, what if they don't want to touch me because I'm covered in another guy's cum? And when I do the gangbangs and there's a lot of men together, I have security in that room. A lot of people assume that security's for me. It's not. It's for the other guys, because I'm always concerned, like, if another guy comes and it hits another guy, I don't want a fight to break out. I don't want them to be like, oh, that's gay, don't touch me. So there's always security when I do these events, but it's predominantly for the guys because I'm scared a fight's going to break out because they think it's gay.
And you respect this profession?
I understand the profession. The profession has been around for a very long time. I respect the honesty, actually, what I said. But yeah, I think the men who turn up to these events are gay, by and large. I think they're at least bi. Because I think that if you're a straight man, you don't really want to be near other kind of men's genitals. And time, in and of itself, we should resurrect Einstein and get him in this conversation. He'll tell you more about it than me. But, time's all happening at once, they say. And that, it's not linear like we believe. And there's another dimension where everything happens at once. Have you seen Interstellar?
Yes.
Cool. So if you fuck her after she's been you're fucking her at the same time she is being fucked, and the dick is in there with your dick, and it's all happening in one big fucking time warp of jizz. And it's better if you're just nowhere near it. If you just don't go anywhere near it.
This conversation is getting me really wet.
Well, this is the thing. Well, I'm sure that when I see your next event, time warp of jizz, I expect a cut. But so for me, women say this. Oh yeah, but it was before I met you. I don't give a fuck if it was before you knew my name. You got fucked, and that's disgusting, and that offends me now. You cheated on me before I met you. That is terrible.
Is that not your insecurity?
Well, that's a perfect word. So people call it insecurity. You got onto my point. It's almost like you can read my mind, Rob. People call it insecurity. They say,
she's got 1 inch. The other guys are going to have bigger dicks.
Well, people call it insecurity, and people call it lots of things. But truthfully, what it is heterosexuality. And any of these men who go, oh, yeah, I don't mind her being covered in cum, they need to take a long, hard look in the mirror and probably get an AIDS test because they're gay. And that's fine. I mean, some people are gay. But you can be gay. You can have gay sex with a woman. Of course you can. I mean, the point of having sex with a woman is to get her pregnant, by and large. I'd argue that being horny in general is kind of gay. To be like, I'm so horny. Like, I'm a full-grown man. I'm so horny. I'm so horny. Like, who?
Yeah, but to me, gays fucking another guy is.
No. Gays doing gay shit, bro. Gays having sex with a woman without the intention of impregnating her, having sex with a woman who's covered in cum, and all this is just gay sex. It's all gay. Have sex with a woman and have a child.
What, so you only have sex on ovulation day?
It's not about that, but there has to be a chance. So there has to be a chance of a child arriving.
But what about on your boat with 25 hoes?
Who says I even fuck them? You think, Rob, this is what I mean. You're so trapped in the Matrix. You're so trapped in the Matrix.
I think you're judging me, Andrew.
No, you think
I'm not trapped in the Matrix.
You think I'll get 25 whores on a boat and then be like, yeah, let me fuck them? No, I just want 25 whores on my boat because it's like I want whores on my boat. I want trees in my forest. Like, they're just there because I've got a boat. I've got a boat and there's women on my boat and they're all beautiful and everyone's jealous of me while I sit there, and even though they all annoy me and I don't even want to fuck them, I just sit on my laptop. But that's just life. It's not even about them. It's not about the sex. You're thinking about sex. This is beyond sex. These people ain't thinking right.
Do you do anything just for fun?
Loads of stuff.
Like what?
But I don't think running around, I mean, maybe when I was younger, but I'm an old man now. I'm old. I'm 38. I really have no interest in dead puss. You know when girls sit and say, I'm on birth control. Disgusting. Vile. There's nothing more disgusting than a bitch on birth control.
Yeah, but I think it's
dead
disgusting if women get pregnant and they can't afford to look after that kid, or they end up in a council house on benefits and that kid has a shit life.
No, this is good. Bonnie,
well, that's good.
No, let me explain.
We're going to run out of beans.
No, let me explain. This is a great thing. Feminism's led us here, and we voted to let in all these migrants, and all these migrants turn up and the state. Look, I've got hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah. If I got a woman pregnant and she annoyed me, I'd say, yeah, call the council. Fuck you. Let's just the state like everyone else does. Mm-hmm. I'm brown enough. I'm black enough. I can do it. Put her in Marsh Farm, Luton, where I'm from. Be fine.
You wouldn't do that.
Who gives a fuck?
You wouldn't do that.
Who
yeah, but that's
cares?
your kid.
She better text me respectfully. She can be rich. If she texts me beef, I'll be like, call the council, get a council house, whatever. Let's have kids. Let's just all live off the government. This is feminism. Because you don't live off the government if you have a husband. They don't want husbands. And they don't want husbands. Women want to get married, but they don't want husbands. They want to get married like Sex in the City style. You know, like you fuck a million men, then you get married to some really rich guy who lets you do whatever you want. Then you have an affair with the gardener, and then you spend all his money, and then somehow you're still the victim. That's the kind of marriage they want.
That's most women's dream.
That's right. They don't actually want to be wives, because wives are obedient, and wives are quiet, and wives listen. All women say this. I want to marry you, I want to marry you. Wait till you're in an argument with them and read their messages and go, this is why I will never marry you. This is why I will never marry you. I read their messages and they don't realize that they've ruined their chance forever. I cannot marry you because of how you talk. A wife doesn't do this. I've told you to be quiet 3 times.
What you can do is say, go and get on that naughty corner.
That's right.
That naughty step.
So women don't want to be wives. They want to just get married, which means that the whole familiar structure is broken. Once the family structure is broken, who has to take the place? Government. Think about this. In Romania, we have no mental health care. Why are there no mental people or out in the streets? Family. We have no forced child support. Why are women not starving to death? Family. We have no disability care. Why are people not sitting on the streets with no legs? Family. Family does so much work. In the West, we have no family. So the government has to come along and offer mental health care, disability care, forced child support. The government has to do it because of feminism. So what I'm saying is if women don't want to get married to men anymore and they all want to listen to the government, then the government can raise kids. Fine. Rob, you put 4 women in front of me, all different flavors. You give me Indian, Chinese, black, white, whatever. and you say you all and have a kid out of all of them, and they'll all be raised on council estates around England, I'd say no problem. Why not? Why not? If they're real niggers, they'll survive.
If you don't feel guilty, that's your child.
Why would I feel guilty?
Because that's your child, it's your DNA.
Of course, and if the woman's nice to me and says, Andrew, I'm tired of living in Runcorn.
But
can I come live in Dubai in a mansion? I'll say, of course, my dear.
But then
if she annoys me, if she's like, oh, I'm here in Dubai and you left me by myself and you're with all these other women, who are all these about? Then I'll be like, bitch, go back to Runcorn.
Take the kid off her.
No, I'm not going to take the kid off her. She can keep the kid.
But it's your DNA.
Yeah, of course. And my DNA is survivor DNA.
But if you've got a proper wife,
if I
that
have
other wife
50
will
kids,
take that
at least 5 of them will be real. Because I don't need the other 45. Look, it's survival of the fittest out here. This is how it works. This is how my brain works. But you're saying, I don't know why we're going to sit here and create the logic fail of pretending it is wrong for a government to raise the children when that was a man's job, when men have had all of their authority removed. You want us to have the responsibility of a woman, the responsibility of a family, the responsibility of children, the responsibilities with none of the authority. You can't tell a woman what to do. You can't tell her to be quiet. You can't tell your kids off. You can't tell her not to suck. You can't tell her not to go out with her friends. If you do any of that, it's emotionally coercive behavior. That's a criminal charge in England. If you tell your own wife not to go to the pub, and you're the criminal.
Oh, you're so controlling.
That's right.
Let me do stuff.
But I'm still responsible? No. It looks like the government has more power than me. So if you want to play this game and take all of my authority away as a man, you want to reduce me to nothing more than a tax slave. Well, then I'm going to play your game back at you. I have no authority, so I have no responsibility. I will look after children, and I will look after the women who give me absolute authority over their lives, who say, yes, sir, anything you say, sir, I trust what you believe in the world. I trust you're guiding us. I trust you to take care of us. Yes, sir. Those women are driving Bentleys currently, living in mansions currently. And the women who say, I don't want to listen to you, I want to do what I want, are currently in council houses. And I have kids with all of them. And I don't give a fuck. Because this is my masculine imperative, to impregnate. And when I die, no matter what you think of me, no matter what anyone thinks of me, no matter what anyone watches this, has a bad problem with me, whatever, I get to die with 100 children. I win. I had 100 kids. I was one of the most famous men on the planet, made hundreds of millions of dollars, spent a little time in jail, whatever. I win. Great life. Genghis Khan. There's men out there who go, oh no, I've got my 2 kids. That's enough. That's your choice. To me, it sounds like failure. Perma-failure. And the only reason they're doing that is because their women wouldn't give them more. Or they're afraid to have kids with another woman in case their woman finds out.
A lot of guys say, like I speak to, the wife wants another kid, but they don't want it because they know they'd have to work longer hours. They know they'd have to do more work. Yeah, the wife wants another kid because she's fucking out. What's going to happen in a few months? I'm going to have to go back to work. I don't want to go back to work. Hey, I'm going to pop out another kid. So a lot of the time, I think the women do want more kids and the dads don't, but it's because of the pressure. They know that that additional kid is going to mean in terms of income.
It's because they're gay.
They're not gay.
They're gay.
Bonnie, do you think Andrew Tate is guilty of the charges against him?
I don't know. What's the saying? Innocent until proven... No, yeah, innocent until proven guilty. Are you a rapist?
What do you really think? What do you think?
No, I think why would he? He gets pussy easy enough. Why go and cause drama for yourself?
Bonnie is the most based person. You know that you're probably one of the smartest women I've spoken to.
I'm quite smart. Say I have a brain and I am smart, only in what I do. For example, like if you ask me about sex work, media or marketing, I've got an answer. You ask me about other, I don't know. I don't even know where. I thought we was on an island right now. We're not. But I think why would someone like Andrew go and rape someone? He can get like unlimited pussy. Why cause a headache for yourself? Why go and pay a lawyer? Why give more money to the government? He could just join my queue. I've seen him there multiple times.
All right, I was with you till then. Bonnie's based. Bonnie understands the world very well. I think that's why we kind of understand each other. She understands the world very well. Of course, I haven't raped anyone. What I did was not buy girls handbags who wanted handbags, and then they did what women do, which is cry.
They want attention and they want money.
Of course. They want attention and money. And everyone with a brain knows they want attention and money.
Did they cry, or was it the system that came for you first?
Well, this is the thing. When the system starts calling every single woman and promises them money, and you've slept with a bunch of them, they only need to find 1 or 2 out of the 1,000, and then there you go. And then they can make criminal charges on you, which is what they did to me. They call 1,000 women, they find a couple who want money or fame, and they get them to make lies up about you so that the government can attack you. This is my point by and large. This is why, if anyone's confused about my opinions on anything, I want you to understand men now, we are such second-class citizens. We have no authority. We have no autonomy. We have nothing left inside of us because we have no capability to even defend ourselves against heinous allegations which are raised in retrospect of action. We're expected to pay all the taxes. We're expected to build the roads. We're expected to go to work every day. We're expected to die in a ditch if the country needs defending. We're expected to stay on the boat when the boat is sinking. We're expected to do all of these things. But it turns out the government and women can wreck us by and large. We are nothing but slaves and serfs to the matriarchy now. And because we live in this matriarchal system where men are absolutely abused, nobody gives a shit about our mental health. Nobody gives a shit about our physical health. All we talk about is breast cancer. That's not even the top 10 cancers, I believe. I think prostate cancer's 10 times the amount. Nobody gives a f if men die. Nobody gives a f we kill ourselves. Nobody cares we do worse in school. Nobody cares most of us go to jail. They don't care about any of it. So we are slaves. So what I do as a slave is say, well, if I'm a slave here in this system, then I don't see why I need to be responsible enough to worry about paying for this kid, for example. If you're going to treat me like a and the government's going to come along like Big Daddy, is going to poison my woman's mind so she doesn't listen to me, is going to rape me in a divorce court, is going to throw me in jail based on false allegations, then how about you pay for the fucking children? That's my view.
What do you think about that? Do you think like men are the lowest in society now?
I think men, if they speak out, they literally don't have a word against women nowadays, especially there is a lot of men that get away with it, and that's terrible. But there's a lot of girls that just haven't got the right way, and the next day they cry. And I'm not saying that's all women. It does happen. It happens regardless. But like blaming Andrew for that, it's just girls that want attention. Those girls come forward like, oh my God, I'm the girl that Andrew Tate raped. Instagram will shoot through the roof. They'll get paid. They'll probably get some sort of clothing brand deal because it's, oh my God, it's women empowerment. Look, you spoke out against someone that's, so hated. They'll be credited, even though their stories are fake. They're the ones that will get praised.
100%. She's the most honest woman of all. This is exactly what men should be hoping for, to meet a woman this honest. Because most women. I'm not
going to hide my past. I'm not going to say, you know what, I'm really innocent. I'll say, you know what, yeah, 1,057 men. Yes, I want to get to a body goal of 10,000. But I am honest. I'm not hiding it. My phone hasn't got a password. Like, I am just so open and transparent.
You want to get to a body count of 10,000 men?
Yeah.
Would you rather meet Bonnie, who tells you all of this, or a woman who goes, oh, really? No, I haven't really done much, when she's done everything and she's been a total, she's lying to you. And then you marry her believing she's a good girl. And then she takes you to the divorce court and completely wrecks you. You know what? Men say, oh, my woman's not a gold digger. Go to divorce court. Don't talk about gold diggers. Go to divorce court and you will soon learn that every single female on the planet wants your money. All. I've never seen anybody go to divorce court and say, she's not after my money, funnily enough. She just wants to get a divorce. No, every single time they want every fucking, they want to take everything. They're all gold diggers. So it's actually very interesting. I respect Bonnie because you know exactly what you're getting. If you show me a scorpion and I know you're a scorpion, fine. Don't put a scorpion in a bunny suit. You understand?
With me, you get good technique and money.
It's honest. I respect the honesty of it. And people are going to sit here, and there are people who do it. They're going to sit here and go, well, Bonnie Blue does is disgusting. Ain't that right, babe? Ain't that right, babe? And they'll hold Babe's hand, knowing that Babe's worse. Babe's a skank. They met her in a pub, three Jägermeisters in. She's prepared to that guy, whoever he is, who's a nobody. You're watching this at home, all you guys watching this at home, and you think your wife really loves you. Do you think I couldn't take your bitch? Of course I could. She chose you because she ain't met me, bruv. That's it. So, like, you're pretending your wife's any better? It's bullshit. I love Bonnie's honesty. And she knows, I'm going to bring her to court. You're my lawyer. I'm adding you to the legal team. This bitch is lying. She wanted money. That's it. So as a man now, you talk about the different forks and spoons and stuff. Let's talk about this. If I have a woman who I take care of and she's wifey and whatever, she's wifey in a certain scenario, that's fine. But if I'm going to put 25 girls on a boat, don't I want girls who are honest, who are open, who know why they're there? They're there because I'm rich and I have them there because they're hot and we all know why everyone's there. I'm less likely to get trouble with those kind of women than the women who go, oh, I'm so innocent, I'm so sweet.
Andrew took advantage of me. Andrew took me on a boat and this and this happened. Whereas like, you take me on a boat, guaranteed your lawyers aren't getting involved. I'll say, if anything, I put it on you. That's more realistic.
What advice would you give to Bonnie now she's starting to get cancelled like you've been?
Well, I'm sure she's smart enough to understand there's have to find a way to monetize and become independent outside of the matrix like I did. You have to find some clever ways to do it, and it's very doable. I think Bonnie's going to continue to get paid using what she knows how to do to become financially successful, which is a fantastic thing to do. Why not? No point doing it for free. I think Bonnie's smart enough to work it all out. And I don't think she gives a shit what they say negative about her, because there's no such thing as bad press. I mean, I'm probably the most negatively spoke about guy on the planet.
Does that bother you?
I don't give a fuck. And I just really, my only thing for Bonnie, and I'm actually going to ask you a question. I really hope, Bonnie, that you stay true to the end. I hope you're real G about this. I don't want you to start busting out a cross and talking about God in about 5 years from now.
I mean, I might insert it inside of me, but there's no way you're going to see me at church unless it's for a gangbang.
No, I don't want any of that I'm reformed bullshit. I don't want any of that crap and saying my past doesn't matter because I've been born again. Please don't do that. I want you until the end in the old people's home. I want, petting zoo, 85-year-old petting zoo. I want you to do it to the end and stay real about your choices.
100%.
All right. Well, then she's the real G. Then she made her decision. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Live by the code. Street life. It is what it is. Like me, I could have pussied out by now. When they put me in jail, I could have started saying, yeah, women should vote. No, they shouldn't. So you, put me in jail. That I stick to what I mean. She's going to stick to what she means and what she says and what she wants to do. She's not going to start busting out and trying to use religion as a shield. Because that's what most of these OnlyFans girls do.
Yeah.
And there's always some white boy, especially white boys.
They've got no motivation. Like, they don't know what to do. They're like, okay, what can I do now? Oh, okay, my OF's dropping or my Fansy account's dropping. I know, let's just say I found God. They've got no motivation or drive in life. They have to be given a purpose. You have to be given a reason to live. It's either, have a couple
they don't want to
kids.
take responsibility for what they did.
Yeah.
What they want to do is they want to erase their past. So they want to get, these OnlyFans girls, they say, oh, I'm traditional now and God, and they wave a cross around. And then some little white boy who goes to church all the time, who's never had his life, is like, she's reformed. Bro, pathetic. But the women get away with it. So as long as they get away with it, you can't blame the thief for stealing. You got to blame the guy who didn't lock his gold up, truthfully. And if these women get away with this scam and men want to fall for it, then it's up to them.
So what Bonnie's doing is a scam,
No, I just don't want Bonnie to ever, change up the game. Stick to what you know.
One rule for one and one rule for another. And that's what's annoying.
No, but I find this interesting because most people are too fucking stupid to understand these false dichotomies we live under. And let's take Diddy, for example, right? I'm not defending Diddy.
Yeah.
What he did was probably wrong. I don't know. I haven't followed the case. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know what the fuck Diddy did. The guy, he was anti-Trump. He hated me. Me and Diddy don't even like each other. The only time we interacted on Twitter was beef. So I'm not defending the guy. What I'm saying is that black culture in America, the music, the culture, all it is sexualizing women, getting as much money as possible, being a gangster, waving guns around, fucking loads of women. That's the culture.
That sounds like you.
Careful. So if that's the culture that the black society is going to promote, if that's what the music is going to push, if that's what's seen as the end goal of success in the black community, becoming a rapper, becoming famous, having a bunch of whores, being feared, having guns, being a gangster, being a criminal, if all of this is what they're pushing and they're saying this is the end goal of success, and then someone gets there and does it, and then we say, he was threatening women and he was waving a gun around and he was fucking loads of women. So what I'm saying is, it's very hypocritical, this society we live in now, where we push people in a certain direction. And then as soon as they end up exactly where they're headed, we have a go at them for it and pretend they shouldn't be there. It is absolutely false to declare that women are not being sexualized. Women are told to be promiscuous now. Women are told to be sexual now. Yeah. So when a woman ends up promiscuous and sexually liberated, who are we to sit and say, I can't believe this has happened? It's completely asinine. It's a double standard. It's a false dichotomy. And it's amazing to me that we live in this world. If you're going to have black rap music push people to be in big mansions with a bunch of fucking them, taking drugs and waving guns around, don't be surprised when black people do it. And don't be surprised when women end up as when we're telling women to be whores. If you want women to do something else, then tell them to do something else. I don't know why we're surprised by it. The thing that's unsettling in all of this is still the role of the average man, who's expected to get far less in terms of loyalty and quality and standard from a woman than he's ever had and pay a far higher price. Our grandfathers got a woman. He didn't have to be rich. He didn't have to even be famous. He didn't have to be successful. He just had to be a man and do the most basic things. And she loved him and he loved her and they had a happy relationship. Our grandfathers got a woman for fuck all. Now, to get a woman who cares about you, you need to be one of the most famous, rich, well-known, drive a Lambo, this, X, Y, Z. The average man's fucking wrecked.
Yeah.
And the role of men in all of this is completely forgotten because nobody gives a about men. We're hypersexualizing women, and let's be honest, Bonnie is smart enough to monetize her own content. But most women who are promiscuous are not smart enough to monetize.
But isn't Bonnie part of the problem then?
Bonnie is a symptom of society. I don't want to say of the disease of society. I could, but she's a symptom. She's the end result of the society we have built, which is why it's hypocritical.
Which you think is degrading.
I'm living the best I can in the world that's already been built. I don't give a shit about changing the world. The
She's
world
not here
has
to change
given me the opportunity to do what I do and monetize from it. I'm going to do that. You
said you thought you were a positive role model.
No, but Rob.
Well, I am positive because you think of the day I fucked 1,000 men. If you was a rapist, would you go and find someone else? No, I've shared my location. Come and fuck me. Like, I'm reducing rape rates because when you have sex workers that are available and guys want to have sex, they want to breathe, they want to and if they can't find a girlfriend or they can't afford to pay for one, because prostitutes nowadays can be expensive, I'm saying, hey, I'm doing it for free. Just come fuck me. Take it out on me because I consent to that. So I'm not promoting, people say I promote culture and stuff. I'm not. I'm saying, hey, I enjoy it. I get wet. I get turned on. I wank over my videos. Come and fuck me. Save yourself paying a lawyer. Like, I'm actually doing people work.
What she just said to you, does that shock you?
None of this shocked me.
No, but do you find it, would you disagree with it? What she's doing? Would you, when you hear what she's talking about, do you sit and think you shouldn't be doing that? Because I'm trying to lead you down a trap here.
Of course you are. You always do.
No,
right.
okay. Well,
no, let me answer then.
Sure.
I'm quite neutral on it.
Okay.
Because I think that I imagine for some men it is useful.
Yeah.
The service you provide. I imagine other men get probably a bit fucked up by it, and it.
Do you believe Bonnie has the right to make the choices she's making?
I believe you do. She does. I do. We all do. As long as it's legal.
Then it's impossible to have any kind of problem with it, surely.
I think you can have an opinion on it.
You just tried to cul-de-sac me there, didn't you, Andrew?
No, the point I'm making is the same people who are going to sit and say what Bonnie's doing is wrong and she shouldn't be allowed to do it are also the same people who say women should be allowed to vote. It's one or the other. Either women do not have the ability to make their own decisions or they do.
See, if I cared enough about what was going off or think I could change it by voting.
But you can't.
So yeah, I don't bother. I don't bother looking in the news or anything like that.
Of course.
And also, why
but you're
should I look at
confusing
the
me
news?
because you say you don't give a fuck about anything on the world and it's just about you, but then you're trying to promote that you're a great role model for men.
I care about mental health and I care about draining their balls and having fun and having orgasms. The only time I talk about the rape rates is when women are crying, saying I'm increasing it. So if you want to start crying and making TikToks and making false allegations, I'll slap you in the face with the facts. The facts are 32% is decreased because of sex workers.
Women can't change the world, Rob. Let's look at this. Let's take this away from Bonnie for a second.
But haven't you said that feminism's just taken over?
Feminism was given to women by men. Men are the only ones who can project force, Rob. Feminism is a male movement. Do you think if women march around in the street outside, anybody gives a fuck? The only reason they get away with it is because men stand around them with guns. Men enforce feminism. Men project force. If women really wanted to fight the patriarchy, and they don't, trust me, the reason they say they want to fight the patriarchy is because the patriarchy doesn't fight back. If it became a real fight, patriarchy versus women, it would last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And when the riot horses start storming in with the batons, women would very quickly get back in the kitchen. So there's no such thing as female power. It's given to them by men. And it's given to them by subsects of men who are actually trying to damage masculinity. It's very interesting. Imagine it this way. Every single man out there is fucked, and every single man out there has a past. So every single man out there can have all of his exes contacted and find the Jezebels who want money and can be attacked. So why does it only happen to some men? Well, women are the conduit for attack, and the different groups of men decide to use women as a conduit to attack their enemies. Feminism is a group of men using women against other men. That's all it is. Women are the tools, and women are the symptoms. Women can't change society. Bonnie can't change anything. She's a symptom of the society she grew up in.
She thinks she can change men's mental health.
No, she's saying she can help with men's mental health, but she can't change society. Women, by and large, can't do anything. Women can march all day, every day. Nobody gives a fuck.
If you saw women marching there now, I'd look and think, oh, now what have they done, chip to nail? If I saw men
that's called a revolution.
God, something's going wrong. Something's happening.
Because men can be violent.
Concerned.
So she is a symptom of society. And what I'm saying is, unless you're prepared to stand up and say the entire society needs rewiring, women shouldn't be allowed to vote anymore. Women should not be having sex outside of wedlock. Unless you're going to start saying all of these things, you shouldn't have an opinion on Bonnie. Your opinion on Bonnie should be, she is the end result of the society we have built and promoted. She is acting how society has told her to act to get as far ahead as possible. She is being extremely successful financially. She's notorious. She's sitting with one of the most famous men on the planet. She's done a fantastic job for herself, built on the parameters that we've given her to live within. Yeah. Here's the rules of the game. She's played the game the best. If you're unhappy with what she's doing, change the rules of the game. But when men sit here and go, no, women should vote, and yeah, I listen to my wife, and I listen to her opinions, and me and my wife are best friends, and I love what women think, but Bonnie shouldn't do that. That's hypocritical and stupid. That's dumb. All women, to some degree, are sex working. And the reason I respect what Bonnie's doing is because Bonnie's making her own money with her own brains and being very honest and open about what she's doing. I respect what Bonnie's doing far more than the girls who have attacked me for charges, who got with me, asked for money, I said no, and then tried to put me in jail for it. That's sex work, but it's just criminal. It's just disingenuous. I respect Bonnie a lot more than the woman who goes out there and gets married to a man she barely loves and divorces him 2 years later and takes half of his estate. I respect Bonnie a lot more than the women who are out in Dubai dating 5 or 6, 7 different men, just getting handbags and rent and all of this stuff and pretending to be an angel and putting boss chick working real estate on her Instagram. All these women are doing the same shit, but Bonnie's open about it. Bonnie's honest about it. If you want to be with Bonnie, and Bonnie, you were married, I believe, or you had a boyfriend. Yeah,
still going through a divorce.
Okay, yeah. If you want to be with Bonnie, you know what you're getting. That's your decision. That's your prerogative. That's honest. That's great. Most of these men out here are married to women just the same as Bonnie. They don't even fucking know it. And if you told them, they'd deny it. If I open my Instagram now and see one of my exes getting married, and I message her husband right now on Instagram saying, she's a hoe, XYZ, he'll defend her. No, she ain't. You're a rapist. Fucking retard. So most of these women out here are the same shit anyway. I absolutely love people. You know what I love, Rob? Karmic retribution. I love, you know, when you see a man play with fire, then he gets burnt, and you're like, shouldn't have been playing with fire. I love it. We said women, let them do whatever they want. I was sitting there years ago saying, no, guys, no, we need to have children. I tried my best. They tried to put me in jail. Did women try and put me in jail? Well, yes, but who really tried to put me in jail? Men. Men tried to put me in jail. It's a male judge, male police officers dragging me in and out the cell, men locking me in the room, men defending these women who lie. Men want me in jail for trying to protect society. But this is the world they wanted. I hope we have more Bonnie Blues. I hope every woman just fucks everything. And I hope all of society burns. I've given up. Yeah. This is what they wanted. So let's give them what they wanted. Do it.
How would God judge Bonnie Blue?
Well,
if God existed.
Arguing about God and whether he exists or not is a completely different topic. But I mean, the holy books have a whole bunch of lessons to be learned. And I would argue that one of the primary objectives of religion, all religions, since the dawn of time, has been trying to protect society from female sexuality, because female sexuality is unchecked, unlike male sexuality. Female sexuality, if it goes unchecked, results in some degree of chaos. All religions are telling women not to be overly sexual for a reason, because they know how society ends. That's why I said earlier we're in the end times. So how would God judge Bonnie? I don't know. Would he judge her? Or would he judge the society which created her? I'm not sure. But a society of absolute promiscuity leads to a whole bunch of problems that come later down the line, because men lose vested interest in the society with the promiscuity. If there's a kid that exists, and I'm sure he's mine, I have a vested interest. But if that woman's promiscuous and I'm not 100% sure that child is mine or not, then I have a less of a vested interest. And yeah, there's DNA tests and there's certain things. But before modern science, there was none of that. The only thing that gave me a vested interest in the child or the woman was the fact that my paternity was secured and it was guaranteed. And it was guaranteed through sexual exclusivity, which is why we've tried very hard to counter promiscuity for so long. Because men lose all interest in family, by extension, all interest in society, when we do not have guaranteed paternity. But once again, who am I to tell society how to be? Because every single time I do, men try and put me in jail. You know, the enemy of the world are not women or whores or the good girls or the bad girls, anything. The enemy of the world are the simps. It's simps that did all this shit. It's simpy-ass men who listen to women's opinions who did all of this crap. And here we are. Simps did it. Simps are the most dangerous men on the planet. Simps are going to sit there and, like what I said earlier, if I message one of the guys who's marrying one of my exes now, he's going to simp over her, tell her how much he loves her, and pretend I'm the bad guy. For doing what? Sleeping with his wife when she wanted it? Simps are the enemy of the society, and simps have built all of this shit.
And a lot of them simps, I guess, are going to sleep with Bonnie, aren't they?
Well, they're all in love with her, and I don't blame them. Because fucking losers. No disrespect.
No, yeah, so I don't find him as losers. Like, before I did judge him, like, before I spent hours and hours chatting to him and stuff, I think that's weird, or why have they requested that? But you know what? I'm saying not.
So you used to judge the men you slept with?
Until I actually educated myself on it. Yeah, and that's like most things. You judge things until you educate yourself.
And what have you learned about men sleeping with thousands of them?
That a lot of the time it's the women's fault. It's the women's fault. It's why they're in my queue. If they just sucked them off that day, the balls would have been drained and they wouldn't have come and given me a facial. The balls wasn't drained, therefore they was in my queue. And a lot of these men, it's not because they don't love their family, they don't love their wife and their kids. That's one thing. Having sex is separate.
True.
And also a lot of these men, it's just sex to them.
True.
They're not asking for an emotional connection. And a lot of them, sometimes they just feel lonely because the world lets them down in loads of ways. They're made to work. They're made to provide. They're made to look after the kids, still empty the dishes. Like, they're made to do so much and they feel lonely. They can't go and say to their wife, you know what, work was hard today. She'll bite back and say, oh, the kids kept me up, this happened, and, you know, they dropped their yogurt on the floor. They've always got something to complain about, whereas I'm not that. I'm not like every other woman. They get to come to me and I'll listen to them and I will cater to their fetish. You know, as long as it's within my boundaries, I will do that for them. Because I'm like, I want to do that. I want to help you. I want to make your day a bit better because your wife isn't doing that. So I want to do that. So I don't find them weird. Like before, some of their requests, I'd be thinking, fuck me, where did you think of that? That's a bit weird, or that's odd. How are you getting off to that? And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to judge them. I don't know what they're going through to a certain degree. If I can make their day a bit better, I want to do that because I'm a good person.
Would you not say, though, Andrew, that's a weak man that's going to Bonnie?
I think men take what they can get. And I think that it is the masculine imperative to take what they can get. Like, once again, I try not to be a hypocrite. I try very hard to be very fair with all of my views. So let me answer myself. If I was walking down the street and a beautiful woman come up to me and said, get me pregnant, no strings attached, I'd be like, all right, safe. I'll take it. Why not? I take what you can get, right? The men who are going to Bonnie perhaps do not have the options I have. But then, like me, if I go to Saint-Tropez, Monaco, Dubai, the most beautiful women in the world are begging for me all day, every day. When I go to Dubai, all the women that you men are Instagramming, and she's ignoring you, is chasing me because I've got the money and the status, which is what they want. But then I'm ignoring them because I can't be asked with the charge. So it's the circle of life. Do I blame men for taking what they can get? No. If there's a group of men around and there's a whole bunch of jizz, they should be too straight to pull that off. But one-on-one, if they can handle the time vortex, if they can get, a calculator and work it out, it is what it is. Sex used to result in children. That was the point of sex. And now we have the capability of having sex without children, which is a relatively new experiment. And this also happens with homosexuality, with gay people, why they keep doing more and more deprived things, because sex gets boring after a while. It's like drugs, right? You take a little bit and then you need more and then you need more for more excitement all of the time. So where the whole ends, I don't know. Maybe a lot of this is down to porn addictions or those kind of things. I'll be here and I'll state completely honestly, and I say this before God and before the cameras, I don't watch porn. I haven't watched a porn clip in 20 years. I don't watch porn. Really I don't need to watch porn. I can barely get through my roster as it is. I ain't got time to be watching porn. I don't watch porn. I don't jerk off. I don't do any of that. I have too many females to service. I'm already behind. Like, I've got to hurry up on this podcast. Like, I got to do. So I don't do any of that stuff. But if you're jerking off the porn all day, every day, perhaps you're always trying to find something new to excite you. That's why you end up looking at midgets and whatever. And then perhaps the depravity is the exciting part of it, like drugs or like anything else. But this is just an end result of having sex without the primary objective of having children, because that should be the result of sex, is children. We've removed that now. So the point of sex is pleasure. But we all know that pleasure gets old and you have to constantly up the game and up the ante. I don't know. Do I blame the men for taking the free pussy when they have no other pussy on the table? Absolutely not. I don't blame them. Do I blame Bonnie for making a whole bunch of money off of it? No. If I was unhappy with that exchange, would my problem be with Bonnie or the men? No. My problem would be with society as a whole. If I believed that was wrong, perhaps I would have been online years ago trying to stop society heading down this direction. But if a whole bunch of men fought against me turned up and raided my house with guns and waved MP5s in my face, saying that I'm